Dear students, in the previous video we have considered the reaction of phenol with zinc dust. So that is continuation. So what happens when phenol is reacts with zinc dust upon heating, that leads to the formation of benzene. So already I told you that benzene is formed when phenol is heated with zinc dust. Here one hydrogen is left out. So each carbon having one hydrogen. This is the molecule is called as benzene. This is the molecule is called as benzene with formation of zinc oxide. This is the product. Predict the product, they may ask for 1 marks. This is important. So what happens when phenol reacts with zinc dust upon heating? That leads to the formation of benzene is the product with the formation of byproduct zinc oxide. Dear students, the next sixth reaction of phenol is, the last reaction of phenol is oxidation. So what happens when phenol which undergo oxidation reaction? The oxidizing agent is used as chromic acid. Chromic acid is a thing, but it is a reaction mixture of sodium dichromate and concentrated sulfuric acid. So when phenol is oxidized with, as you know that phenol, when phenol which is oxidized with what? Chromic acid. Chromic acid is nothing but sodium dichromate with concentrated H2SO4. This reaction mixture is known as chromic acid. Remember this reaction or equation. This may ask for you 1 marks. Predict the product. What happens when phenol reacts with sodium dichromate and H2SO4? That leads to the formation of diketone. The diketone is going to be formed. That diketone is called as benzoquinone. So two ketonic functional groups are going to be appear in the benzene ring by when this phenol reacts with sodium chromic acid. So here what is the product means? Diketone is going to be formed, benzoquinone. Diketone is nothing but benzoquinone. So this is the molecule is called as benzoquinone. This molecule is nothing but benzoquinone. This question will ask for you in the examination for 1 marks. Predict the product. They will assign this phenol molecule. They may represent reaction mixture on this arrow. So based on this reaction mixture, what happens when this phenol reacts with this reaction mixture? They name the product. To predict the product and name the product. They may ask for 2 marks also. If they ask to write only predict the product, you have to predict the product, you will get 1 marks. If they ask to write predict the product and name the product, means you have to predict the product for 1 marks and naming for the obtained molecule is 1 marks. Totally 2 marks question it may ask for you in the point of examination also. Dear students, now let us discuss about some commercial importance of alcohols. So this is all about the alcohols. Till today we have discussed about alcohols, some preparations and chemical reactions and properties of alcohols, reactivity of alcohols. So upon over all these concepts, finally let us come to know about the uses and where we are obtaining these alcohols. So how to obtain these alcohols in your day-to-day life. So in the day-to-day life we can extract the alcohol from wood. Also we can extract by destructive distillation process. So here first alcohol it is considered, that is methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol. So series of alcohols can be seen. So in that the first alcohol, the parent alcohol, in that the first alcohol is obtained as methanol. So it is known as, the formula, molecular formula of methanol is CH3OH. CH3OH is the molecular formula for the methanol. So it is known as wood spirit. This methanol is also known as wood spirit. Wood spirit antanu navu karibodu. It is produced by destructive distillation of wood. So by destructive distillation of wood, we can able to extract the name of the alcohol is called as methanol. And it is also produced by catalytical hydrogenation of carbon monoxide. So when the carbon monoxide which undergo hydrogenation reaction in presence of catalyst like zinc oxide and chromium trioxide that leads to the formation of the corresponding methanol at corresponding reaction temperature and pressure. So this is the thing, but the obtaining methanol from carbon monoxide by hydrogenation process with the presence of catalyst. So that's why this is important. So carbon monoxide reacts with hydrogen in presence of catalyst. What could be the product is going to be obtained? This is they ask for 1 marks. Predict the product. Question mark ಕೊಡಬಹುದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Predict the product ಅಂತ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. What happens when hydrogen reacts with carbon monoxide? So the combination of carbon monoxide and hydrogen is also nothing but water gas ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು, syn gas ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. In the first year itself we have studied the combination of carbon monoxide and dihydrogen. This reaction mixture is called as syn gas or water gas ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So this is carbon monoxide which undergo hydrogenation. Do you know that hydrogenation ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Hydrogenation process is nothing but the process of addition of hydrogen is called as hydrogenation process. Here the addition of hydrogen takes place to this carbon monoxide in presence of catalyst at a suitable reaction condition that leads to the formation of product is called as methanol. So next uses of these alcohols. What are the important uses of these alcohols? The first use of this alcohol is it is used as a solvent in many paints and varnishes and wood polishes. So these are all the important applications. In a day-to-day life we are using paints. In that paints we are using the methanol is acts as a solvent for dissolving the content of composition of colors. So that is paint also we are using. Varnishes, it is also type of paint. In varnishes also we are using, and also wood polishes. For the wood polishes purpose also we are using the alcohol that is called as methanol, and also it is also used for the as a motor fuel. So nowadays we are using the motor fuel is diesel and petrol, and sometimes the mixture of kerosene also we are observing. As like that here the one of the fuel that is also methanol can also be used for the motor fuel. In coming days we may come across the fuel like methanol as like petrol what we are using daily life. So like that only we are also apply this methanol for the motors to run bike or any vehicles. So it is also important that it is used for motor fuel. So as a antifreeze for automobile radiators. So it is methanol can also be used as an antifreeze for automobiles radiator. Whenever the engines of motor vehicles, if they are very hot when they are running, so at that time it can be used as antifreeze, means it can converts the hot part of that engine into cold part. So it may reduce the temperature in the engine part. So that's why antifreeze. It can reduces the temperature by applying this methanol. So methanol is also very important advantages for the motor vehicles. So automobiles, any automobiles ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ರೇಡಿಯೇಟರ್ ಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಆಂಟಿಫ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಉಷ್ಣವನ್ನು ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ವೆನ್ ದ ಎಂಜಿನ್ ಈಸ್ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಂಜಿನ್ ಹಾಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮೆಥನಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ನ ನಾವು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ. ಸೊ ಆಂಟಿಫ್ರೀಸ್, ಫ್ರೀಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್. ಸೊ ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ is goes on decreases. As the temperature is goes on decreases, that is freezing. So boiling means that is higher temperature. The opposite for the freezing is antifreeze, means so antifreeze means it can completely cool down the engines. So next is in the manufacture of formaldehyde. So for the preparation of formaldehyde we can able to use this methanol. Methanol can be used for the preparation of formaldehyde by dehydrogenation process. By the dehydrogenation process, this is the methanol. So by this dehydrogenation what happens, here one H, here one H completely condenses. What is going to be obtained, CHO. HCHO is going to be obtained, that is formaldehyde. HCHO is the molecular formula for the formaldehyde. HCHO, this is the formaldehyde. For the preparation of formaldehyde we can use this methanol. So these are all about the some important uses, and also as well as from how to we have to extract the methanol. So methanol can be extracted from destructive distillation of food, and also it can be obtained by it is also produced by catalytical hydrogenation of carbon monoxide with high pressure. As follows the reaction conditions I have given here. At 200 atmospheric pressure under 573 to 673 Kelvin we have to treat this carbon monoxide and hydrogen in the presence of catalyst that leads to the formation of an corresponding alcohol is called as methanol. Dear students, the next important alcohol is ethanol. So how do you extract this ethanol? So ethanol can be extracted by fermentation of sugar. As you know that the sugar molecular formula is C12H22O11. So this is called as sucrose. Sucrose is nothing but sugar. When this sugar, which when undergo reacts with hydration, that is hydration means addition of water molecule in presence of invertase enzyme. So when this sugar undergo hydration reaction in presence of invertase enzyme, that leads to the formation of glucose and fructose. So invertase is last ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ASE word ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is called as enzyme. So invertase is the enzyme, that is the enzyme catalyst that will convert sucrose molecules into glucose and fructose by undergoing hydration of sucrose. So this is the fermentation of sugar. So you may consider the C12H22O11. So here also C12H22 and O. Here 11 is there, here 1 is there, 12. So O12. So completely reactant gives rise to product. What happens? Sucrose will undergo hydration reaction in presence of invertase enzyme that leads to formation of glucose and fructose. This is the first stage. So next, in the second stage, this glucose and fructose which undergo conversion of ethanol and carbon dioxide by the influence of enzyme gymase. In the presence of gymase as the enzyme, here this is nothing but glucose or fructose. The both are molecular formula is same, either glucose or fructose, which when undergo reaction with gymase, gymase is the catalyst, enzyme catalyst it is. Why? Because here also ASE, the end word is ASE. The always enzymes are end by the suffix ase. This is the word suffix which is end by this ase, that is the thing but catalyst. What type of catalyst? Enzyme catalyst it is. So invertase which can convert the sugar into glucose and fructose, and one more enzyme that is gymase enzyme which can convert the glucose or fructose into ethanol with formation of carbon dioxide gas. This carbon dioxide will exist into the atmosphere in the form of a gaseous state. So this is about the method of preparation of ethanol. So this is the fermentation of sugar anta heltivi. By the fermentation of sugar we can able to extract the ethanol. First step what happens? This is the first stage anta helabodu. This is the first stage. What happens in the first stage? In the first stage, the sucrose molecule, that is sugar molecule which undergo hydration in the presence of invertase enzyme, that leads to the formation of glucose and fructose. And in the second stage, first stage we are getting glucose and fructose. That glucose or fructose which undergo reacts with gymase catalyst, enzyme catalyst, that leads to the formation of corresponding ethanol. What we want? We want ethanol. This is the ethanol molecule. This is the molecular formula for the ethanol is C2H5OH. This is the ethanol with evolution of carbon dioxide gas. The next important properties of this ethanol molecule is here it is in colorless volatile liquid. Ethanol is a colorless volatile liquid with characteristic smell. We can observe some characteristic smell. So you are observing the smell of onion or smell of lemon. So orange. So how you are observing the smell? That is, these are all the organic liquids. So organic liquids. Why? Because these consisting of carbon compounds. So that's why you can observe the smell, odor. You can feel the odor of this ethanol. It gives some characteristic smell, and it has having the boiling point 351 Kelvin. It will boil at a corresponding temperature, that is 351 Kelvin. This ethanol is going to be boiled and it is soluble in water. These are all about some important properties of this ethanol, and also some important uses of this ethanol is uses where we are using this ethanol. This ethanol can be used for the solvent. So as like methanol, here also ethanol is also used as solvent in many paints and varnishes and etc. So and also this ethanol can also be used for the preparation of or manufacture of many organic compounds. Carbon containing compounds can be manufactured by using this ethanol. So as like in the methanol, by using methanol we can able to obtain the carbon compound that is called as formaldehyde. As like methanol, here also ethanol can also be used for the manufacture of many carbon containing compounds. And lastly, this ethanol is not fit for drinking. So many people used to say that alcohol is used for drinking. So many people used to drink alcohol. So that alcohol is different, this alcohol is different. Why? Because this alcohol is highly concentrated, whereas that drinking alcohol is concentration of alcohol is very less, like 5%, 8% of alcohol can be seen in the drinking alcohol, whereas in case of ethanol, methanol, here 96 to 99% of concentration can be seen. That's why it is very horrible to drink. So that's why it is not used for the drinking purpose. While using for drinking, so we have to add some coloring agent and odoring agents. So for the alcohol with less concentration, diluted alcohol, for that if you added the copper sulfate, it is used for making color of that alcohol, so that can possess color. And pyridine can also be used for getting some characteristic odor. So in such a case, that by adding copper sulfate and pyridine to the alcohols, we can able to use it for drinking. And this process of addition of copper sulfate for coloring and pyridine for odoring, so this process of addition of this copper sulfate and pyridine is also known as desaturation of alcohols anta helತೀವಿ. So what do you mean by desaturation of alcohols? The desaturation of alcohol is nothing but the addition of copper sulfate, it is used as a coloring agent, and addition of pyridine, it is used for the found smell of that alcohol. So this process of addition to alcohol is called as desaturation of alcohols anta helತೀವಿ. This is about all concept of alcohols and phenols. In the next video, let us cover the important topics of ethers. So if you finish the ethers, this chapter is going to be completed. Thank you.